off there. Here we go. We all live. Yep, good times. We good. Check the sound real quick. Mm-hmm. You on YouTube? Testing. Yeah, it should be good. Yep. Testing. Maybe 12. All right. Shalom, Israel. Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakatham to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Atah Ba'Shem Yahshua to the sisters. We are the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, and we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Right. So now the topic today is going to be about who is Esau. Like, who is Esau really, though? You know, like a lot of people, they don't, you know, of course, like the fact that we bring up history and what's in current events. You know, everybody likes to do the same. We've all heard it. You're victimizing yourself. Slavery, and it's such a long time ago. Right. And who's brother? Is it Yaakov?
It's Yaakov. No.
Who's that?
I think it's Yaakov. I think he said Yaakov.
All right, Shalom, Lord Christ, out the water. But yeah, you know, slavery happened such a long time ago. Blah 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 blah. It's always the same thing. But what they really try to do is they want you to shut up. That's really all it is. Like, I don't get it's on topic. I'm gonna go over it briefly, but we'll get more into it throughout the class, of course. So I don't know if anybody seen it, but I seen the new Spider-Man movie. Great movie. It was a great movie, right?
For real? I ain't watched it.
Nah, for real. Hey, that shit was cold. But it's like, excuse my language, but it was cold though. But my point being is, we as I'm saying, like black people, like all black people, right? Latinos, we still gotta face white supremacy. We still have to face systematic racism. So much to the fact that we were just talking about this. You could have money.
Right.
We have black millionaires.
Right.
We have Latino millionaires. We got black billionaires.
Right.
Forget about it. And even throughout all the success that we have, we are still looked down upon as second, third class citizens.
Right.
And people always want to remind you about how much they hate you. The reason why I brought up the whole Spider-Man thing is because I already anticipated. I was just waiting for it. Movie comes out. Of course, people don't like the fact that there's a black Spider-Man.
There's a black Spider-Man?
He's black.
Dude, where have I been?
Yeah, don't worry. I'll tell you about it later. But anyway, you know, it's Black Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I like comics and stuff. So Black Spider-Man is black and Puerto Rican. So everybody, of course, you know, all Israel, we hype like, oh yeah, this is one of us.
Right.
It's one of us. We get to see one of us. He in New York doing whatever. But now, of course, people are complaining.
Right.
And what are they complaining about? They say this is a new term, woke. It's too woke because of all the ethnic diversity in it. And I'm like, so throughout all that movie, that's what you was concerned about. And of course, who are complaining about it? It's white people complaining about the color of a cartoon character that does not exist. This is a kids' movie. And you're so hot and bothered at the sight of somebody that's not you, an Israelite, in a children's movie. Like, really think about it.
I'm glad we on that topic.
I
get to like.
Yeah, it's all gonna tie in. It's all gonna tie in. Who's that? Shalom Lord Christ out of one, Priest and Officer Shabal. If I could, real quick, shout out to them brothers, Priest and Officer of 1,000, Bakar, and Priest and Officer of 500, Rock. They did that interview with that Hamite, the dude from Ghana. And, you know, of course, they were talking about how Negroes, you know, throughout America and throughout the Caribbean and South America, you know, product of the transatlantic slave trade, how we are different from real Africans. They love to say that we're African. We're African.
Right.
Take a DNA test, you're 20% Sierra Leonean and all this
DNA test is crazy.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I'm sorry. So I give an introduction, but I just got to get this all out now. You know what's crazy? That DNA test is BS.
It is BS.
And one of the reasons why, it was a video, right? So it's actually a white person did this. They said, I want to test how good this DNA test. They had a pet iguana. They had a pet iguana. So they wanted to test if this DNA test was legit. So instead of taking his DNA, he took the DNA of his pet iguana and he submitted it. And then, of course, you see all these different percentages pop up. They said he was 11% Canadian.
That's crazy.
20% African. I'm not making this up.
Man, 100% reptile.
Yeah, 100% not human.
It's not a human being. A reptilian.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, as I like, you know, geography and animals and stuff, I'm like, I might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I could have sworn iguanas are not native to Canada.
Hey, look. So, according to white people, they are.
Yeah. According to your DNA test, this iguana is Canadian. It's African. It's Australian.
That's crazy.
It's 30% European. And I'm like, how?
That's crazy.
Not even a human being. They did it with a couple of different things. But of course, I digress. Whatever. But my point being is, shout out to them brothers in Las Vegas doing an excellent job doing that interview, and of course, proving yet again that the black people who were taken from Africa are different from the actual Hamites. Like, Africa's a big place. There's over 54 different countries. It's huge. All right. There's different people that live there now. So, and they're not all the same. So just, getting that out there. I just want to give them a shout out. But, with that being said, we're going to begin the class. We're going to be going over Genesis 25, and we're going to be going over who is Esau, what is the spirit behind Esau, what is the nature of Esau. Because people think we say that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of because we just hate white people. No, it ain't that simple. It has nothing to do with what you look like. We could care less about what you look like.
Right.
We're talking about who you are spiritually, what you have done and continue to do throughout the world. But we'll end it with that, right? I know I've been talking for a little minute. So you got anything to before we begin?
Live, sir.
All right, so let's get it on. We're going to start with the prayers. So with that being said, I'm mighty them, just me and the brother up here. Sorry, it's me. Sorry.
La Shala,
which means to Israel in the Hebrew. All right, sorry, it's me. Sorry. Sorry, it's me. You got it? All right, sorry. All right, Amadim upon Yahakwadam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. We're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. It's the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakuvka, Taba'ah, Ratzaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baratza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemayim, Ratananawa, Lakum, Call, Yawam, Basalaknawa, Kabawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala'ah, Tabayanawa, Badasaiwan, Abal, Habashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Watapara, Lavalumium, Amon.
The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh, thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom
Thy
come.
will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
As
it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
Lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
This is the Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Baba Kasha, Lathun Lanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Call, Makala, Wakal, Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Matazuraya, Hakak, Laquaya, Mathia, Hakak, Ayel, Makawa, Tama'ala, Garshun, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, the water, Amen.
The power in the English.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name.
To cast them out in the name
of Yahushai.
Of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
wa Yahweh Shah,
Yahweh Shai,
wa Mayaka Allah,
Baramaka Allah,
wa Alahayim,
Walahayim,
wa Tazab Ya'ah,
Azazab Ya'ah,
Alawap Yahana,
Alawap Yahana,
ha Alawapim,
Alawap,
ha Saranyim,
Asmanyim,
ha Katazayoyi,
Hakatazanyum,
ha Kayayoyi,
Hakanyonyum,
wa Ha'akwafim,
Wa'atim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashem,
Bashem,
Yahweh Shah,
Yahweh Shai,
full water.
Amen. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh,
And Yahweh Shai.
and Yahweh Shah,
And Michael.
and Mike,
And the angels.
and the angels,
Commander General Yohana.
Commander General Yohana,
The generals.
the generals,
The captains.
the captains,
The officers.
the officers,
The troopers.
the troopers,
And the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh. In
Yahweh,
the name of Yahweh Shai.
in the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
All,
All,
Haharim,
Ahorim,
Mayan,
Bayam,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah,
Izoya,
Azoya,
Izoya,
Azoya,
Ma'aim,
Ma'aim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shemayim,
Shemayim,
Wa'ratazah,
Baratazah,
All Yathan,
All Yathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Wagorka,
Gorka,
All,
All,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Shemarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hanai,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yayashun,
Yayashun,
Shawamar,
Shawamar,
Asha'ala,
Asha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shemarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazarka,
Tazarka,
Al-Yad,
Ayat,
Yaminka,
Yamika,
Yawamam,
Yamim,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayarak,
Barak,
Balayallah,
Barak,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Hashmarka,
McCall,
Call,
Rai,
Right,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Athnapashka,
Pashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Hashmar,
Tazafka,
Tazaf,
Uwa'athka,
Tazaf,
Maita,
Maita,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
Iowalam.
I will love. Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills.
unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my
My
help?
help coming from the
My
Lord,
help coming from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He would not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Israel
that keepeth
shall
Israel
neither slumber
shall neither slumber
nor sleep.
nor
The
sleep.
Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy
The
keeper.
Lord is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
Lord is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by
nor
night.
the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve
The
thee
Lord shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forth
and even forevermore.
forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
All.
All.
Zamiyalaka.
Alaka.
Al.
All.
Takarash.
Takarash.
All.
All.
Tashakwat.
Tashakwat.
All.
All.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Hana.
Hana.
Awayebika.
Yahomyam.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Ayel.
Ayel.
Amaka.
Amaka.
Yaim.
Yaim.
Sabada.
Sabada.
Waita.
Waita.
Etazawa.
Tazawa.
Ayel.
Ayel.
Tizapawanyika.
Tazawa.
Amorwa.
Amorwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidum.
Walakakuni.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Wazakar.
Shum.
Shum.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Awada.
Awada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa.
Nawa.
Itazawa.
Tazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakabu.
Yakabu.
Alyaka.
Ayika.
Baryath.
Barak.
Yakarathwa.
Barak.
Aholya.
Ahoya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wa.
Wa.
Yashma Ali.
Yashma Ali.
Mawa'aba.
Ma'aba.
Wahagoyim.
Agoya.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'amwan.
Walam.
Wamalak.
Malawat.
Palasha.
Palasha.
Amishabi.
Amshabi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gum.
Gum.
Ashawar.
Ashwar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hiwa.
Hiwa.
Zorwai.
Zorwai.
Labunya.
Labunya.
Lawat.
Wat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Lahum.
Lahum.
Kamadyam.
Kamanya.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Kayabian.
Kanyanya.
Banakor.
Banwa.
Koyashwan.
Bashunun.
Mashamarwa.
Shabwa.
Bayan.
Bayan.
Dara.
Dara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Dama.
Ladama.
Labma.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamo.
Nada.
Nadad.
Yamawa.
Yamawa.
Kaira.
Kaira.
Because of Abba.
Kaba Abba.
Because of Bak.
Kazabak.
Because of Zalmanah.
Kazamana.
Call.
Call.
Nasayakamwa.
Naslakamwa.
Shar.
Shar.
Amarwa.
Amar.
Mayarusha.
Barosha.
Lanawa.
Anawat.
Ath.
Ath.
Nawath.
Nawa.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatabu.
Shayatamo.
Kagagla.
Kabakla.
Kakwash.
Kwash.
Lapanya.
Upon.
Roaka'a.
Baka'a.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Taba'iru.
Taba'iru.
Ya'iru.
Ya'iru.
Wa.
Wa.
Kalahaba.
Kalahba.
Falahat.
Salahat.
Haryam.
Aryam.
Kun.
Kun.
Tharadama.
Tawadama.
Basa'iraka.
Ba Asa Arika.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapathka.
Wapaf.
Tabahalam.
Daba.
Mala'a.
Ba'a.
Panyahum.
Ayom.
Kwalawan.
Kalawam.
Waya.
Waya.
Bakwashwa.
Kashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawah.
Yabashwa.
Bashu.
Waya.
Waya.
Bahawa.
Bahawa.
Adiai.
Adiyai.
Waya.
Waya.
Kaparwa.
Parwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Abadwa.
Abad.
Waya.
Waya.
Dayawa.
Dawa.
Kayata.
Kayata.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawah.
Labaka.
Abaka.
Alikon.
Alikon.
Slakia. Alyuan.
Alyuan.
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Harataza.
What's that? Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies
Make
a tumult.
Make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate
have
thee
lifted up the
have
head.
lifted up the
They
head.
have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty
against
counsel
thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy hidden
They
ones.
have said,
They have said,
Come and let us cut them off
and let us cut them
from
off.
being a
From
nation.
being a
That
nation.
the name of
The
Israel
name of
may
Israel
be no more in
may
remembrance.
be no more
For
remembrance.
they have consulted
For
together
they have consulted
with
together
one consent.
with one
They are
consent.
confederate against
They are
thee.
confederate confederate against
the tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and Ishmaelites,
Ishmaelites,
of
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
the Baal,
and Ammon, and Amalek,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Orel, and like Zaid. Yea, all their princes at Sabbath, and Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God, in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord, let them be confounded, and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Okay, start face me. Yes. All right, you may be seated. Water for everybody that's tuning in. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. We got to continue pushing this truth out. You already know Esau the devil, so he's gonna try everything he can to not let us bring out the truth. What's that? Checking in.
Riverside, Mission Limia.
Okay. Well, most time. All right. So we're gonna begin with the book of Genesis, right? We're going to go to Genesis 25. We're going to start at verse 19, though.
All right.
So, it's like it for the sake of time. Just going to get straight to the English.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 19.
Go ahead.
And these are the generations of Isaac,
right? Abraham's
son. Abraham begat Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian, of Pandam Aram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her.
So now there's two different children in her, right? Go ahead.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, two nations.
So these are kids, but there's two nations. Go ahead.
Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
So there's two nations in her womb. One is going to be stronger than the other. Let's keep going and see who this is.
And the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Okay.
And the first came out red, all over, like in hairy garment.
Now, context, right? It said that the older shall serve the younger.
Right.
Now, even though these are twins, one got to come out first.
Right.
So the first one came out, how did it describe him?
First came out red, all over.
Red, yep.
Like in hairy garment.
Keep going.
And they called his name Esau.
So the first person to be born out of Rebekah's womb was Esau. So that would make, he's the older one. He's the older twin. Keep going.
And the first came out red. That was like verse 26.
Yep.
And after that came his brother out. And his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob.
So Jacob's the younger. Esau is the older. But it said that the older, this is prophesied, like, is the reason why I'm focusing so much on this one.
Right.
It was prophesied that the older shall serve the younger. Keep going. Any more on that?
Come on, sir. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Let me get 27.
Go ahead.
And 28 by percent.
No, go ahead.
And the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter.
Now, a lot of times, if I could, I don't want to interrupt you.
No,
You want to elaborate on that cunning hunter part?
Cunning. First of all, let's get the definition of cunning. Let's do that so people can understand what the word cunning means. Cunning, having or showing skill in achieving one's ends by deceit.
Whoa, hold on.
That's a crazy definition.
Hold on.
In
Read
Oxford.
it one more time.
This is the Oxford definition of cunning.
So cunning. This is in the Bible, right? Go ahead.
An adjective. Having or showing skill in achieving one's ends by deceit or evasion.
Deceit or evasion. Hold that real quick. If I could just chime in real quick. So deceit. So I'm gonna show what deceit means.
Right. Come on.
Right. Let's see. Deceit.
Let's get it.
So this is the definition of deceit in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. The act of causing someone to accept as true or valid what is false or invalid. The act or practice of deceiving.
Come on, man.
Or deception. An attempt to Salakia. See? There we go. Miss Salakia. That already just went.
The deceiver. Look, that's saying right there.
Look, he didn't even want me to read it.
Right.
He didn't even want me to read it. Deceit.
Deceitfully evil. Devil.
Let me get it one more time. Okay. An attempt or device to deceive, to trick.
Come on.
The quality of being dishonest or misleading.
That's crazy.
The quality of being deceitful.
Come on.
So, as soon as Esau came out, he was described as, start from the top one more time.
Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Cunning.
A man of the field.
Man of the field.
And Jacob was a plain man.
A plain man.
Dwelling in his tents.
Dwelling in his tents. So Jacob was chill, right?
Jacob was chill.
Okay.
So just get 28.
Just make sure we get the, go ahead.
And Isaac loved Esau.
Isaac loved Esau. Now, real quick, Esau's the older, right?
Esau's the older.
Why do y'all think Isaac loved Esau? Let's take the last couple verses in the context. It said that he was a cunning hunter.
Right.
He's the older brother.
Right.
So usually this is like usually what happens, right? You're a father. I think you're a father, right? You got your oldest son, right?
Right.
And he's a hunter.
Right.
He's very like think of like you got some boys. Your eldest, he a football player.
Right. A man of the field.
Man of the field, like he's burly, like he's like very like aggressive.
Right.
Whatever he need, he take it. He's like, you know what? That's my son.
Right.
That's my eldest right there. That's my boy right there. So Isaac loved Esau because he was a cunning hunter. But keep going.
And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob.
So Rebekah loved Jacob, right?
Right.
So is there any more on that?
Nah, sir.
That's it. So drop that. Let's go to chapter 27. And you can start at verse 1.
All right. The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son.
Eldest son, again, go ahead.
And said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold now, I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison, and to bring it. Verse 6, and Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth.
What verse you at right now?
10. Let me skip.
Because you can skip one. You can go to.
You want to where he get the blessing?
Don't jump that far.
Okay.
Yet. Go to like verse 11.
All right, verse 11. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man.
Keep going.
My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing.
Okay, stop right there. Okay, so what's happening right now, this is why I wanted to focus so much before. It was prophesied that the elder shall serve the younger, right? Esau is the older one. He's the eldest brother, and even though technically they're twins, Jacob is the younger. So the reason why, again, I wanted to emphasize, Isaac loved Esau because this is his eldest, this is his boy. So obviously, it's like, think of it an inheritance. You give most people when they have, I know we as Black people, we might not be too accustomed to this now because we ain't really got much to, give out. But in the rare occasion that we are able to, people write a will, some inheritance for their children, their next of kin, but they often give the inheritance to the eldest. Just like think of kingdoms, right? You don't even gotta think of Israel. You can just think of kingdoms all over the world. Who's usually the next one to be king? It's the eldest son, right? So point being is they favor the eldest, usually, most of the time, right? So of course, in Isaac's mind, it's like, okay, when it's my time to go, I'm gonna bless Esau, he's gonna take over, whoop-de-whoop, whatever, right? But it was prophesied that the older shall serve the younger. So Rebecca loved Jacob. So Rebecca, she overhears what's going on and she runs to Jacob. She tells him, hey, your dad, his time is coming. He's about to give a blessing. What she's doing is she wanted the blessing to go to Jacob.
Right.
Now she's giving him instruction, like, okay, this is what your father told Esau to do. Remember, he's going blind, he's sickly. So, he's just going to feel around. Esau goes into the field, he's about to get the venison, dress it up the way that his father likes it. It's like his last meal kind of thing, right? So she tells Jacob to do the same thing.
Right.
But Jacob, as I said, he's like, but wait a minute, Ma, like, I'm not like my brother. I'm smooth. Like, I'm not hairy like that. So if my father feels me, he gonna know, wait, this ain't Esau.
Right.
And he may curse me instead of bless me. So he's worried. So let's see.
For time's sake, just give them to.
You can go to.
I'll tell them about the. So
you can skip. Yeah. You can skip
also, so when he got the goats, the two kids of the goats, she stripped the hair off the goats and she put the hair on Jacob so he could feel like he's on. Right. Now imagine how hair you got to be. Well, you put some goat hair on somebody to feel like a regular human being. Well, he can't. He's not even human because he ain't got no hue. When you put him on, all right, just imagine how hair you got to be. With somebody to put some goat skin on you or goat fur on you, so you can feel as though you that person. Mm-hmm. So just skipping you up for time's sake. So we can about 18,
go to
17.
You can start at 19.
Verse 19. Yeah. And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn.
Okay.
I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee. Sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me.
So Jacob is posing as Esau.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. This is why it's good to read context into the Bible. Some people might read this, right? And they may think like, whoa, Jacob fooled his father. What he did was a horrible thing. Here's what you don't understand. Going back to Genesis 25, right. 9 through 6, 19 through 26, it was already prophesied that this was supposed to happen.
Right.
So what's happening right here, this is what the Lord wanted.
Right.
Point blank, period. So however we may feel of how we got it, it don't matter. That's how the Lord wanted it. Just to get that in context real quick, right?
That's in Romans 9 as well.
Right. So let's see. Because there are some verses I do want you to skip. Let's see. And Isaac said unto Jacob. You can read 24. Go into 21.
21. Yeah. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. Mm-hmm. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy.
Going back to what the priest brought up before, for time's sake, his mother, like you said, got the goat hair, put it on him. He's like, well, you sound like Jacob, but you feel like Esau, so you gotta be Esau.
Right.
So he go ahead, continue.
As his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. Mm-hmm. He said, art thou my very son Esau? Mm-hmm. And he said, I am. Mm-hmm. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank.
Okay, so now you can skip down to 28.
Verse 28. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine.
So he's blessing. What's wrong?
Oh, yeah, I thought you were gonna keep talking.
Oh, no, you talk.
Verse 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
Go skip down to. It's like because it's like kind of.
I don't know what time.
Go to trembled exceedingly. Okay, so now you can actually skip down to
37.
verse 32.
32. Genesis 27:32. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau.
Okay, so now Esau coming, right? So just so we're clear, Jacob already got the blessing. So now here's Esau. Keep going.
And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright.
Okay, so now, quick thing, real quick. I just want to do a quick revision. So there was a part, right? There was a moment where, just so we're clear, Jacob did not trick Esau. You can read in the scriptures. I'm paraphrasing real quick, right, just for time's sake. He actually goes up to Esau, and he tells him, like, you know, okay, so Esau in the field, he's hunting, he's famished, he's hungry, right?
Right.
So Jacob actually walks up to him. He's like, you know, I'll help you out, and he requests like the food from Jacob. Jacob tells Esau, he tells him this. He didn't trick him. He said, I'll give you the food,
right?
But you gotta allow for me to get the blessing,
right?
And you want to know what Esau did? He said, okay. He said, okay. So point being is, 1, Jacob did not trick Esau. Number 2, that shows the nature of Esau. He really never cared about the blessing. And in Isaac's mind, because it was already prophesied, he was supposed to give the blessing to Esau. But Esau gave up his birthright, his biological birthright, not his spiritual birthright, right? So now he's angry, but it's like, why are you angry if you gave it up?
Right.
So keep going. Well, what verse you at right now?
I am in verse 37.
Actually, yeah, right there. You can go 36.
What? Let me end 36.
Yeah.
And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants.
Yep.
And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword,
Father, what?
By thy sword,
keep going,
shalt thou live.
We'll get to that in a second. You go to 41.
Verse 41.
No, I'm saying like you can read up to 41.
And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother.
Right.
And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob.
What?
Hated Jacob.
He hated Jacob. Keep going.
Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So, all right, so you can stop right there, right? So, whole point being is, right, this is getting into the nature of Esau, right? First of all, he gave up his birthright. Nobody tricked him. I'm just putting that out there right now, okay? He didn't care for his birthright. That's like your father offering you, like, hey, I'm gonna give you this inheritance. I'm gonna give you this land. I'm gonna give you this property. You're gonna run the company. You're gonna be a multi-millionaire. Right. You're supposed to run the company, right? And then you got, you know, your younger brother. You know, he wasn't supposed to get none of that, but then you make it like a bet with your brother or whatever. Right. And he's like, hey, you know what? Like, I'll give you this. Like, I'll give you this car if you give me the company.
So like, not even a bet. He just traded.
He just traded.
Oh, damn. A trade.
You know, he gave him. He's like, I'll give you this. I'm just like using it in today's terms.
Right.
He's like, hey, I'll give you this new car I got. Right. But in return, you gotta let me be head of the company. And guess what Esau did?
Got that new car.
He got that new car. He said, all right, cool. So he got that new car. He was fat. He was satisfied with his lust right there.
Right.
But
there.
then, hold on. Then his younger brother, actually got put in today's terms, he got the company.
Right.
He got the inheritance. Now he's angry at him. He's angry. And then in verse 40, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Remember how we read earlier that Esau was a cunning hunter? He was deceitful and dishonest. And now it says, by the sword shalt thou live. Here's the thing. Esau is the ancestor of what you know today as the Europeans,
Right?
The white man. But really, in the Bible, he wasn't even white. That's today's term. He really was red.
Right.
I remember, like, Salaki, I had I think she's like she's white, but like Polish or something, right? And every time it's hot out, this woman turns red. And I remember we were on break one time, and it was another white person, and they were saying something about like, oh, like, you know, like you can't say that because you're white too, or something. There was, you know, some whatever. I wasn't really paying attention until she made a comment. She said, "I'm not white, I'm red." And I'm like, well, yeah, like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, you are. Like you are red. You got to understand, like they out in the heat for periods of time.
Right.
Like we just get darker.
Right.
We have natural, you know, melanin to our skins and stuff, so-called blacks and natives and stuff. But then white people, they burn. That's why they're more prone to skin cancer. This is genetics, by the way. This is not me just making this stuff up. This also ties into how some of y'all think that the Jewish man that you know of today is the real Jew when he's really not, because I did a study not that long ago, and it's actually been shown that Jewish people that live in modern day Israel today actually at one point in time had the second highest rate of skin cancer throughout the world, so much that their government or their leadership had to issue out pretty much like think of it as like a state of emergency. Like, hey, y'all got to get back in the house. It's too hot. Y'all are burning. Right? But then I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, but wait a minute. If this is your land and God gave you this land, why would God give you a land where you'll burn if you stay too long in the sun?
Right.
But you God's chosen people. So like, yeah, the math ain't math. And point being is though, right? This is who Esau was destined to be.
Right.
He was deceiving. He was cunning. He was dishonest. He was a liar. And he was blessed with the sword. He's a hunter. He kills. That's what he does. Like, that's it. That is the white man's talent. He is good at killing. You watch all these shows like Animal Planet and stuff like that. They're like, we discovered this new animal. Why y'all always like discovering something? Like, leave it alone. Y'all destroying all these natural habitats of animals. They going extinct and all that. The earth is literally in the morning because Esau always trying to mess with something. That's why I didn't really feel bad. What was his name? Was that Australia? The crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin.
Right.
I didn't feel bad when he died by that stingray. Because what you doing messing with a stingray? You out here wrestling pythons and crocodiles and stuff. I'm like, it's only a matter of time before this dude get got. I thought it was gonna be a crocodile or something. It just happened to be a stingray. But sooner or later, he was going to die.
He had to.
And then, you know what's crazy? He had kids. And his kids, despite knowing what happened to their father, followed right into his footsteps because that's who Esau is.
Cunning hunters, man.
He's a cunning hunter.
Look, man, they kill everything on the face of the earth, man. Everything. There's nothing. I'm looking for that scripture. Let's say even the trees will rejoice. Hold on. I got it right here. Job 12 and 7. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee, or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. Mm-hmm. Look, man, this is what's going on. If you ever heard that statement, if these walls could talk, well, if the earth could talk, it'll tell you who the devil is. If trees could talk, it'll tell you who the devil is. Matter of fact, it's a scripture that says the trees will rejoice when they get out of rulership. You ask the fish in the sea, man, so much oil dumped in the Gulf of Mexico, man. It's insane. They didn't kill all the little fishes down there. That's why you can't do nothing but eat crawfish anyway. All the fishes dying. Hell, what up? Ask the birds, man. It's crazy what white people do. I don't know. Oppressors do. They'll find an animal. The animal will be in its natural habitat. We spoke about this. It'll be in its natural habitat. It'll be alive and thriving the way it's supposed to do. And Caucasians go over there and they cunningly hunt the animal and
push it to the brink of extinction, and then won't choose to spend some money to put it in some habitat so they can produce more.
Yeah, now they make it an endangered species.
That's the word, endangered species. You crooked.
Right.
You crooked, man. Does that make any sense? Why would you go killing it if later on you're going to want to have some now? That's what you do to black people.
Because I almost said it. Give me, so was it Psalms 58 and 3? Psalms 58 and 3, if I could. I almost said it. I didn't say it, but I'll look at the scripture first.
That's my boy.
Nah, but if I could, yeah, but the priest bringing out is heavy. Like, the earth is in more like, okay, when Cole, you got it for me?
Cool.
Okay, I'll let you read it first. Give me Psalms 58 and 3.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3.
Go ahead.
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
The wicked are estranged from the womb, from the start. You was weird. You're odd. You're strange. Things you do don't make sense. Like the priest brought up earlier. Like, think about it. When you look at black people, when you look at like the native indigenous people of the Americas as you know it today, like the North American Native Americans, they lived alongside the animals.
Right.
They like the bison and the buffalo.
Right.
Like, they honored the buffalo. Like they ate it, but they understood, like, you know what, this is of the land though. Let me be smart about this. Like, you know, and they were resourceful too.
Right.
Like they didn't just eat the buffalo. They ate the buffalo, but they also used like the bones and stuff for tools.
Right.
Like they use the fur for clothing and
shelter.
Yeah, shelter. Like even this is ram's horn.
Right.
Right. But resourceful.
Resourceful.
So like you're using what the Lord put on the land, but you're using it. You're not abusing it though. You're not abusing what's there. You're using it as, okay, you know what, this is where I live, and I'm gonna, you know, use it the way it's supposed to be. But what does Esau do?
Shalom, swap.
Esau, Shalom on Christ, swap. What's going on? But Esau, he will bleed the earth dry. Okay, I don't know if you remember this during COVID, right? During COVID, you know, obviously, like we weren't allowed to do a lot of stuff, and they started saying, like in different countries, all of a sudden, all this vegetation started growing, all these fish that weren't around started popping up all of a sudden.
Right.
Like the earth, like you got to think about it. People were in mourning because the Most High put a plague on the entire planet.
Right.
But the earth was healing because nobody's afflicting it no more. And in that short time, imagine 10, 20, 30 years, 100 years of Esau not having no rulership, and we're not damaging the ozone there. We're not dumping oil, like you said, into the ocean anymore.
Right.
We're not destroying different rainforests and, you know, like we're not doing all that. We're not doing none of that no more. We're just letting the earth flow. The earth will heal and return to its natural state. Go ahead.
It's funny. You said 10, 30, 100 years. Imagine forever.
Forever.
Man, I mean, that's why we do this, man. You can't imagine. You can't even imagine forever. I don't even mean to get off topic, but it gets me so excited to think about the blessings. The blessings are you're supposed to run the planet Earth forever. You can't fathom forever. I've only been here 30 some odd years, man. It seems, you know, it don't seem too long, but it seems long. No, imagine forever.
And like your kids, your kids, your kids,
you again,
and then just keep going. you
just keep coming back and back and back and back and back and back and back
and the earth is beautiful now.
Man, come on, man. They say General he brought out Mike Allen. He brought out how like fruit, how he was taught fruit. Apples are small now. Imagine fruit in the Garden of Eden, in the crescent fertile, or the fertile crescents. Like it's gonna be so ripe and so big. You don't have to worry about pesticides. Me and Karazai was talking about Karazai, and I was talking about this. You got to put like vinegar,
baking soda, and lime. That's what I use
to clean out.
Just to clean it.
Man, come on, man.
They put wax on apples.
Who does? That's
Esau.
That's the devil.
You know, but like, this is gonna sound so silly, but like, it's something like so small though. Like, I forgot who I was talking about it with, but it was like bananas, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like you go to some grocery stores, you get the bananas, they ain't got no seeds. And then I don't know why, but like for some odd reason, I remember I went to like a different grocery store where they had like better quality fruit, and I got the banana and it had seeds and it tasted different. And I sat there and I felt so dumb. I was like, wait, bananas have seeds?
Right.
But like it sounds dumb, but it's like, no, like it's a fruit. It's supposed to have seeds.
It's funny that is in the scriptures.
But like you said, like that's why I want to bring up Psalms 58:3. Like you were estranged from the womb. Like you'll take something great and somehow pollute it. The food. I'm so glad you brought that up. If I could, the food you eat, all the pesticides and everything that you put in all these different apples, oranges, like the fruit. The fruit's supposed to be good for you. Like I remember I seen it was a brother from Jamaica. There was a mango in Jamaica, right? And he saw a mango in America. They don't look the same. And he said, like, I guess he moved from Jamaica and he came to America for a little bit, went back to Jamaica. And he said the quality of fruit is different when you go to different islands that aren't being afflicted as much, like by the white man, as far as like the food.
Right.
And he said this mango, a natural mango, is sweeter. It tastes like your body gonna know. Even the water we drink.
Oh yeah.
Like they put all this, like, man, you know how mad I be getting? I'm trying to drink some water. Like, I want my water to have one ingredient. Water. But somehow I go in it, they got potassium, phosphate, kryptonite, chemical X, all this other crap. And I'm like, crazy. I'm like, why is all this in my water? But it's put in there because Esau is the one that messes with everything.
That man the devil.
The devil that the Bible speaks of.
I don't care what nobody say, man. Look here, man. That man the devil. And everybody knows it, but you scared to say it because you're not free yet. When the scriptures say the truth shall make you free. You got to get free, man, so you can call that man the devil. Look at his track record. Look at what he does. He's a cunning hunter. He murders everybody. He murders everything. He don't just murder people. He murdered the earth, your food resources, the sky. Who putting all that smoke in the ozone layer, man?
It's foggy.
Come on, it's foggy.
You know, it's great. People come to LA and it's gonna be beautiful and it's small.
Come on, man.
You like the air is dirty.
Air quality is trash. That's why you got what? Yeah, you gotta get a smog check on your car just to be able to even register it out here. Hey, look here, man. That man the devil, man. I'm just gonna keep saying it over and over. As a matter of fact, it's gonna be my camp speaking. That man the devil. Dude, we out here, man. Look at this, man. I remember growing up, we used to go outside, we used to drink water out the faucet. You know, not even the faucet, outside, like on the with the garden hose, Mm-hmm. Some of y'all about my age too, man. We used to go outside, man, playing all day. We used to drink out the water hose. Hey, look, that was some good quality water back then, I guess. I don't know. Now, man, you can't even drink water out the faucet, man. Water tastes like it got lead up in it. Hey, that's a wild guy, man. A cunning hunter, man. And he has the world so deceived as if he's not a deceiver.
He is.
He is the ultimate deceiver,
and the Lord hates him.
Yeah, what you got, Malachi 1 and 2?
1 through 4.
Oh, you're perfect.
You already know.
Yeah, already.
I was gonna go to the usual Romans 9 and 13, but I want to show something else in the Bible yet again.
It says, "As it is written."
As it is written. I say I believe in the Bible, but let me get Malachi 1 and 1.
The book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi.
Keep going.
I have loved you, saith the Lord.
So the Lord loved you. Keep going.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
So this you talking about like you didn't love Esau? It's Jacob's brother. Keep going.
Saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob.
But I love Jacob. Yet I love Jacob. Keep going.
And I hated Esau.
And I hated Esau. Yet again, Esau. Again, you were estranged from the womb. Man. You were a cunning and deceitful hunter. You were blessed with the sword. Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, you ain't even got to go to this. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau I have hated. Malachi 1 and 3. This is like the first 3 verses.
Yes. It
says, and I hated Esau. Keep going.
That's crazy. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
So does that sound like God loves everybody?
Come on, man.
Why would God love something that's destroying the earth? Why? The Lord and his angels created all this. Why would he love something that's killing it?
Right.
That makes no sense. The math is not mathing.
Okay. Math.
Y'all love to, and this, like, I got a little time. You were like, here we go.
You say,
we need like 11:15. Yeah. But But we're talking about this like, and this is like, again, going back to that word deceitful. We're talking about this in the car, right? It's so amazing. It really does amaze me. I'll be honest. I'm impressed of how deceitful Esau really is.
Impressive.
I'll keep it up with you. I'm impressed of how deceitful Esau is. Because how is it that you can leave through different parts of Europe, go to different lands? You know, we tried to escape. You know, we fled to Africa.
Right.
And, you know, we were trying to hide, and you know, we had our beef with the Hamites and stuff. But then you came along, put us on cargo slave ships, shipped us all throughout the Americas, as you know it today, but didn't stop there. Then, of course, you found Northern tribe.
Right.
You found the native indigenous brothers and sisters. Oh, yeah, we're going to get y'all too.
Right.
Put them on. People think that natives weren't put on slave ships. Yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
Why do you think you got Latinos in the UK?
That's crazy.
Natives aren't natives to the UK. How do you think they got over there?
There's a lot of them out there.
They were put on a slave ship, okay? And they were shipped. Did you know that they used to take Native American women and take rounds, put them on slave ships, and they would take turns, you know, raping them. I'm just gonna say it might get flagged, but they were raping these women,
sexually assaulting.
Yeah, so they were doing that, and of course, I'll be talking all day. I literally don't have enough time to talk all about the different things that they have done up to this day that they still do. They just do it in secrecy. So my point being is, you did all that, but somehow made it to where we're the bad guys. Like, I got into an argument with somebody before, right? And this just shows how destroyed our people are. I got into an argument. It was a couple of Latinos in the world, right? And there's this new, it's stupid. There's this new thing, you know, because, you know, we talk about colonization and all the horrible things that's happened to us. But then I guess apparently there was a couple brothers. Of course, we've had traitors before. I mean, look at Judas.
Right.
There were a couple brothers who decided to side with the Europeans. Right, this isn't new. Like, there were black slave owners. Like, they sided with Esau and thought that they were going to live a better life by oppressing their own people, and they died. My point being is, there were a couple black people that sided with the conquistadors. Right. And they labeled them as black conquistadors. You know, all 5 of them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that happened. Now, all of a sudden, you're the descendant of a black conquistador. And I'm like, wait a minute. So we're just going to act like slavery didn't happen. All right. This is the stupidity that we have to, Salakia. This is what we got to deal with. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me hundreds of thousands of white people,
and you chose the
1% of the 1% of, go ahead.
Look,
go ahead.
That's so heavy bringing it up, because I think about how you said all 100,000 white people that have been killing folks, millions of white people have been killing folks, and you chose the 5 black people, 10 black people, whatever, the 1%. That's how they are with Caucasians. Out of all the 100,000 that killed them, they were like, well, I know some good white people. They only know about 2 of them. Hey, man. Hey, look, the oppressor is a worthy adversary.
That's what I said. I'm impressed.
I am impressed.
I'll be honest. I give credit. Look,
how does he do this?
But like, he's a cunning hunter. That's what he was destined to do. And I'm glad you brought that up, because this is what our people will do. It's like they try to find the good white people. It's like brothers do this in the world, right? It'd be like 100 millions of horrible white people that do horrible things, say racist stuff, all that type. But then you find one, and he just happens to be like, well, I'm not racist, bare minimum. Like, you're not physically killing us, so we're like, oh, we got one. Like, you hold him up like a trophy. Like, we got one, bro. He cool. He one of us. Here's your black card.
It's you know what that's like? That's like looking for a wife in a strip club.
Damn. Come on.
She not every girl in there is a whore. And you walked in there, you're like, I'm trying to find a wife in here.
I'm gonna try to find one.
One of them was a good girl. One of them is not playing me for my money. She's not a money grubbing whore. And you walk to the strip club. Hey man, just go to the grocery store or Barnes and Nobles, Bornays and Nobles, since we niggas. Barnes and Nobles or something, man. That's what y'all do. Y'all sit out here and you go to school with all these Caucasians. You can't wait to find you one.
And I'm talking bare minimum, like just because he might not say nothing racist to you, or like I met some nice white people.
Me too.
I met some nice ones. You know, they help you out here and there, but then you gotta understand like why they being nice to you though.
Right.
Because I remember, Salakia. we're talking about this last time. This is when I was still in the service, right? And this is during like when George Floyd, like this was like the big thing, the race riots and everything.
Yeah.
And I remember we had this big meeting. It was my XO and my CO. So for those who don't know, there's like, high ranking people, old Edomites. Like
what do you think?
So they get us all into this big meeting with all these different people. I was probably like one of all 2 black people up in there. and they went in a circle. They started asking people, how do you think we can solve racism? And I sat here and I'm just like, I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to listen. I'm not going to say nothing. And I sit here and I listen to all the ignorant stuff that everybody's saying, like non-white people, we got like Filipinos in there and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm not even worried about this.
Right.
The whole time I'm sitting you're me, right? Right. My XO is sitting right here. And he's looking around. I'm not saying nothing. And at the end of it, I'll never forget this. He stops and he's like, you know how, hold on, I take off my glasses. He kind of do like one of these. Like that. And then finally he's like, so how do you feel? Like he does, I can't make this up. How do you feel? And of course, like this, I'm still like a trooper at this point. And I try to be all politically correct, but I'm just like, I'll be honest with you, you can't end racism. Racism been around since the dawn of man. I said, honestly, if you racist, just mind your business. Keep it a buck. That's all it was. And everybody just kind of sat there like all uncomfortable, like they didn't know what to say. I remember after I said everything, I got up. My XO gets up and he's like, thank you very much for that. And I'm like, but he looked so uncomfortable though.
Oh man.
And he was very nice. There was a white boy in there, he very nice.
Right.
Still remember his name was Stewart. Still remember his name. Very nice, right?
Yeah.
Always came in, greeted us. Hey, what's going on, man? You catch the game? He like anime. So you watch this new show? Yeah, whatever. And then sure enough, that meeting came across. He wasn't in my group. It was a Judite. He was in his group. And I overheard what happened. This Judite almost whooped his ass. And I'm like, what happened? What happened? And he told me, he's like, because he said, it's a white man, he said, George Floyd deserved to die because he broke a crime.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, so you mean to tell me this is the same white man who's so, hey, what's going on? So then of course they asked him, well, what about all the white folk that did mass shootings?
Right.
Crickets.
Come on, man.
This is the same white man who smiles in your face. He's cunning.
Cunning hunter.
He's deceitful. That's what he does.
Right.
He will smile in your face, ear to ear. He'll buy you things. Hey, you trying to come to the Christmas party? Like that's what. Look, we all been through it. He's deceitful. That's what he's always been. But understand that is still your enemy underneath there. It's because like everything that shines ain't good for you. Everything that glitter ain't gold. You got a preset. I feel like you already know you about to go. Psalms 55. Yep, Psalms 55. Right,
you see, one body, one doctrine, one mind. I don't even have to say it. He knew. As soon as he said what he said, I was going there.
Yep, I'm gonna just let you read it. Go ahead.
The book of let's go to the book of Psalms 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. These are all his treaties that he has had with the so-called Native Americans. Mm-hmm. Treaties he's had with the Mexicans, man. Treaties that he even had with you at work. They posted what equal opportunity and it was called affirmative action. Don't worry about it. But you last hired, first fired. They don't even keep up with that. As soon as it's time to start laying folks off, your black behind finna be catching unemployment.
Right.
You better know what time it is.
You're getting deported.
You getting man, them brothers, it was an article came out. Malakma brought it out. That's a great priest, man.
Oh yeah, shout out to priest and also
right. He brought out how brothers were serving in the military. Mm-hmm. I forget how many years, but 94,000 Hispanics who served in the military have been deported, and that's estimated. So it's probably 100,000 more. Anyway, crazy. If I may, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Go ahead.
Man, that man he's a cunning hunter. He's crooked. He's crooked. It's
Okay, you ever watch because I watch like detective shows, and I watch how like First 48 or interrogations, and I see how they come in there. I heard a good cop, bad cop. I see how they come in there, be like, "Hey man, we're just trying to help you. Hey man, look, you can save yourself right now, man. You tell them boys one thing. Look here, he's finna lock you up for life. He pulls you over in your car. He asks you what's going on. He's trying to separate you from your old lady. Look, he's looking for a way to kill you. That is what he's trying to do. That is just in his nature. Yep. He can sit out here and try to act nice and calm with you, and he might be your neighbor, man. He might be a guy you at the bar with. He's looking for any reason to put you down, man. It's in him. Yep. Even if he don't want to do it, he wants to do it. Man.
It's in his spirit.
It's in him. It's in him. Like they say in the world, it don't need to be on you. It got to be in you. It's in that man. Come on. It's in that man. Esau vowed to slay Jacob. Imagine you are your father. You are your father. What your father do, that's what you gonna do. These ain't nothing but his kids. These are the same kids from back then. All they want to do is kill and murder Jacob, man.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
And it's like I'm gonna go back. I got it right here. I'm gonna go back to Psalms 58:3 because I meant to go more into that real quick, right? So it's Psalms 58:3 again. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Right. So again, Esau, right? They go astray as soon as they are born. Meaning, like as soon as they pop out the womb, they already on some weird stuff. You ever seen like y'all think like black people are being racist when we talk about white people? Like, oh, y'all just hate them. Like y'all like to say, but there aren't bad black people. Yes, there are bad black people.
Right.
There are.
Right.
Look, like there's bad Israelites in the Bible.
Right.
All right. So we not like, here's the thing. We hold our people accountable. We not Black Lives Matter. We not one of those people that's like, we like to talk about white people when it's convenient. Like, oh yeah, look what they did. But like, don't like to hold ourselves accountable. We hold ourselves accountable all the time. We tell brothers, hey, stop smoking weed. Right. Stop watching porn. Right. Stop, killing your brothers and stuff. Like we do, like we tell brothers that, because if you do that, first of all, it's you're sinning against the Most High and you're sinning against your people. Right. But then you're practicing what Esau does. Right. That's why that scripture, I'm paraphrasing, where it says that you are your father the devil. But y'all, if I could real quick, I wish I had more time. You are your father the devil. He was a deceiver from the beginning. Yeah. We think that means that's talking about Esau. In the beginning. What does Genesis mean? In the beginning. It's the first book. God damn. So man. You serving Esau. That's your daddy. That's who you serve. Daddy. Like Christ brought him out, like you of Abraham's seed. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right. Like by blood. Yeah, we're the same. Okay. But you don't serve him. Right. You serve Esau because he was a deceiver from the beginning. So going more. The wicked are estranged from the womb, from the moment you get out, from the beginning. As soon as your heart start beating, they go astray, and as soon as they are born, speaking lies. I got one more for you, and then we'll wrap it up in a minute. Psalms 58:4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Y'all ever get bit by a snake? Thankfully, I never have, but the poison not going to kill you. Like the venom's not going to kill you immediately. No. Right. It's going to be slow. It's going to be painful. Your heart going to stop. You start having seizures depending on the snake that gets you. But the first time you get bit, it's, I got bit. It's not that bad until it's that bad.
You swell up.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ears.
Come on.
Let me see if there's any more on that. Which will not hearken to the voice of charmers. Charmers never so wisely. So I just ended with that, right? My point being is, and you can go more into, you can talk about, in the Apocrypha where it says, never trust thine enemy, for, I'm paraphrasing, like he rusteth like iron. Like, for example, like, mechanics and stuff out there, right? People that work on your car, talk about like corrosion and stuff. Right. It ain't going to rust immediately. But if you don't tend to it, it's going to slowly rust and deteriorate. Right. Starts to oxidize. That's what happens. But my point being is, it takes time. Right. A lot of times, Esau not going to be wicked right off rip. Right. He's very cunning. He's dishonest. He's a liar. He'll be your best friend. He'll bring you to parties. He'll give you all the drugs you want. He'll be like, hey, man, here's a housewarming gift. Can I show up to the baby shower? Hey, you want to date my sister? Like, he'll do all that, but he's looking for ways to kill you. And the thing is, it might not even be like a physical death. He just wants you to sin. Right. Because it's in him. To sin, Like you're dead.
It's death.
Spiritually, you start sleeping with white women, you're dead inside. Any heathen woman, realistically, but he wants you to do that. You want to, that's why he makes drugs legal now. Because he knows that, oh, some black people, they love drugs.
Right.
Give it to them. Make it legal. So it keeps you sinning. Pork is the cheapest meat on the market.
Right.
And where are most people living in poverty? It's mostly black people. Y'all know about redlining?
Right.
Redlining is mostly blacks and Latinos. A lot of our dishes have pork.
Right.
Because it's cheap. We have all these kids, but we can't afford all of them, but we got to feed them.
Right.
So we're going to get the pork. We're not going to get the steak. Steak expensive, huh?
That's expensive.
Tastes great, but we ain't gonna get that. We're gonna get the pork bacon. We're not gonna get the beef bacon. The beef bacon costs too much.
Right.
So you're gonna get the pork.
And
that's what Esau wants you to do. That's what it's saying. Like, he does want to kill you, even if it's slow. Go ahead.
Esau's say cunning hunter. You gotta go really watch them and study them as they're hunting. They'll sit up in that tree and wait for days. Them snipers, there's
good night,
man. With them ghillie suits.
Who was you seen American Sniper?
Man, I've seen it all,
man.
I've met him. One of my good friends, man. He was a counter sniper, so he had to snipe snipers. So you got to look on ridge lines where the snipers may be. Man, they used to sit up there for days, man, 3-4 days in a row, barely moving an inch, just to grab a little bit of piece of meat to eat, just so they can survive through the couple of days they got to go through, just to kill.
Yep, and they'll wait too.
They will wait. Like,
just think about how focused you got to be.
Hey,
like,
man,
you don't want to move.
That's his blessing.
But that is his blessing.
Cunning hunter.
That's who he is
with the sword.
But that's the thing. You got to understand who your enemy is,
right?
Man. Like I said earlier, we're not against Esau because the way he looked, we don't care about that.
Right.
There's plenty of different people out there that look a certain way.
Right.
Like not all Edomites are white. I know that y'all might not get that one. Yeah, I don't know because you all who your father is. Esau, he don't,
bro. There's some people that look like us that are Edomites.
Yes, they got a white daddy,
bro.
Trust me. I like we talk about it all the time. I tell brothers all the time, like you really them scriptures, Numbers 118. Was it Tobit? It's in Tobit where it says I'm paraphrasing. Go for the father's seed.
Oh yeah,
look, that's important because skin folk ain't always kinfolk.
Right.
It's because you look like me. Like there was a person I almost messed up. I almost called him a brother. I thought he was Gad. I thought he was Issachar. I thought he was a northern tribe. Turns out that man's daddy was Jewish. That boy was Amalek, but I saw it in his spirit though. Right. I'm like, this dude seemed weird. Like, what's your angle? And then of course kept battling, and then finally it came out. I'm like, oh, you're Jewish.
That's what it was.
And what was cold was he said, Slaggy, we went in a second. What was cold is how crafty he is. The deception. I remember I was talking with Captain Ash. And I said, like, Slaggy, sir, I'm like, this dude is very deceptive when we're talking about it. And finally, it came out. And I remember he made a comment. That's why you got to watch Esau, man. He made a comment a long time ago, like, no, like, the Jews, tell like Jewish man.
Right.
He's like, those are the real Israelites. But then I found out, wait a minute, you're Jewish. But he said he's not an Israelite. I'm like, but you're Jewish, though. So wouldn't that mean that you're an Israelite? And then he went private on his page and stopped talking to me and then tried to be my friend after. I'm like, nah.
Hey, man. The wicked fleet.
Nah. I know, like, no, don't try to be my friend. I know who you are now. Right. Boy said he's Sephardic Jewish. He's a Spaniard. I'm like, oh, okay. Now it makes sense. You look like one of us, but you're not one of us. Right. So you got to look crafty, cunning, man.
Hey, man.
But like you said, like the wicked shall flee. So I'm gonna end it with that. Actually, you got anything?
Nah, so that was great ending.
But the whole point of the class is, Esau is a very cunning hunter, right? That's who he is. That is his nature.
Right.
And you got to take it for face value. So I know some of y'all still gonna put, but they're not all like that. They are though.
They're all like that.
It's because he's quiet or he's not outright trying to kill you. He's going to find a way. And he might not even kill you physically. He may never kill you physically. Spiritually, they will kill you, though, because they're going to cause you to sin. You meddling with them alone, like, you need to stay away from them. If there's a rattlesnake right here, but he don't bite me, you think I'm going to be like, oh, it's such a good snake.
He's going to bite you.
And then I'm going to look stupid. But well, it's a snake. What you think was going to do? Same thing with Esau.
Right.
Just because he's chilling over there and he minding his business, good.
Right.
That's a good Edomite.
Right.
That is a good Edomite. Mind your business. Leave us alone. But if you're trying to befriend them and get involved with them, well, don't be mad when bad things eventually start happening to you.
He's going to take advantage of you.
He's gonna. If not you, your kids, your wife, husband. I don't know. Esau, I can't even say that because
he's a nasty guy.
He's a sodomite too. So
Well,
I'll be talking all day.
Okay.
Salaki.
No,
but
wild,
but the water for everybody that tuned in. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. We got to continue pushing this truth out. And with that, shalom.